This is Let's Talk Business with your host, Mark Ebinger. Now, here's Mark.
Welcome to Let's Talk Business, a show that talks entrepreneurship with some of the best businesses in the San Antonio area. Coming up on the show today, we're going to talk with Ernest Glenn, the owner of Topaz Cleaning and Restoration, a company that provides a wide range of cleaning services for homes and businesses. Ernest, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Enjoy being here.
Yeah, first time. This is your first podcast you've ever done? You've done others?
I've done one other, and that was back when Safe Referrals was around. I'll tell you how far back that was.
Okay. No, I don't know what that is. But
That's how far back it's been.
Okay, cool. All right. We're also going to talk with Leo Valdez, an expert in credit repair and the owner of National Best Credit Solutions. Leo, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Now, your name's Leonidas, which I think is super cool, right? I mean, Did your parents name you after 300, or what's the deal?
Oh, I came before the movie.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I might look young, but that movie came out in like 2004.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, man, time just flies.
Yeah, it does.
All right, and I'm your host, Mark Ebinger, the owner of Crookus Marketing Agency, a company that specializes in giving small businesses a competitive edge by hiring low-cost virtual administrative specialists from outside the U.S. You know, that virtual assistant game's funny because as I've been doing it, when I started it, it was like I had to figure it out. But it's not easy, right? It's one thing to hire, but it's another thing to keep them and to do it successfully. So that's been an interesting journey for me as I built my whole company. Right? I have 24 full-time people from outside the United States now. Oh, wow. And I hire for businesses and stuff around the San Antonio and Texas area.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's really a good, affordable way to leverage, get all the stuff that can be done remotely, just get it done for $8.50 an hour instead of $20 an hour with all the benefits and the red tape and the blah, 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 insurances and whatever else going on. It's a completely different game that people can play now. It's really global, which is nice. A quick reminder for our listeners, you can catch video and podcast versions of the show anytime by visiting our website at satalkradio.com. And if you're a business owner in the San Antonio area and would like to have your company featured on the show, visit our website at satalkradio.com or call our office at 210-879-8804. That's 210-879-8804, and we can get you hooked up on the show. All right, so building trust is important, right? I think Absolutely. For businesses, it's I think San Antonio, we're very relationship-oriented anyway. So people like to know, like, and trust who they're going to be doing business with. So referrals are kind of a big part of it, right?
Absolutely.
So you did work for so-and-so. And so how do you guys approach, like, I guess, building trust online? Leo, let's start with you.
Well, online, I mean, I do it, my whole business is online. So it's all over the phone. I used to have a few brick and mortars, but it's just a waste of money nowadays. So I went ahead and switched everything online. How I get people to really trust me is I do a lot of education and free education. A lot of people, they have like trade secrets on credit repair. I let it all out for free.
Ah.
So I'm like, if you want to really get to know, who we are, we tell you exactly who we are on social media. We do videos, emails, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, and so where are people finding you online, or how are they accessing your information online?
I mean, I'm huge on Facebook. I think I got a little over 8,000 followers just
Nice.
here. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're YouTube too as well. So
social media is really where it's at. What kind of content are you putting out on YouTube?
Just credit education. Just
Okay.
credit education, credit tips, credit myths, just anything credit.
Are you doing like shorts and long and short form content?
Correct. Yeah, about like anywhere from like 30 seconds to a minute and a half.
Okay.
Over credit.
All right, cool. Yeah, because that's what people, they do the same thing with real estate agents all the time. If they're going to moving to San Antonio, they're going to go to YouTube and they want to get to know San Antonio realtors. You know what I mean? So, and YouTube's a great way to kind of build, they feel like they know you a bit, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what I do every week is I'm constantly flooding content out there on YouTube and social media platforms. What's your biggest platform do you think where you get the most activity?
Facebook.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. My personal Facebook at that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Usually I get anywhere from 10 to 8 signups every few days just on Facebook.
Nice. Well, that's where your following is. How do you leverage that to Instagram?
I don't get too much business on Instagram. I try, but I feel like Instagram's hit or miss, especially for a male, right? For a female, Instagram is huge. They can market. for like somebody like me, I think Facebook's more where it's at.
Okay.
I probably get like maybe 2 customers once a month on Instagram, but
Yeah, that's a big
Facebook-
difference.
Yeah, Facebook, it's like even today I got like 4 people already messaging me, "Hey, I'm ready to sign up."
Sweet. So how do you take care of that? Well, let me go there. See, this is what happens though, right? I love talking about how people do their business. You know what I mean? But Ernest, so when it comes to online presence and building that trust, how are you guys doing that over there?
We seem to be having more luck on just our website, and just trying to keep your website up to date these days with SEO built into them and around them. You know that's what seems to be drawing our clients in, and our biggest one right now is with Yelp, and
Okay.
the social media is. I've been in this business 25 years, so I used to run a ad in the newspaper, and I fill my routes up with my trucks. Well, it's no longer the case. If we're not involved in social media somehow or another, then you're just not going to get the pull from your clients that you would years ago. People today are looking online as driving down the road, just, hey, Surrey, I need a carpet cleaner, and we're going to pop up stuff like that. So the marketing and advertising today has changed so much, and it's changing so rapidly. From one month to the next month, things are changing.
Yeah, how's your Yelp presence as far as like reviews and whatnot? I mean, you got a full blown presence on Yelp?
Yes, we do. We probably get, I'm going to say, on an average day, 3 to 5 leads off of Yelp.
Okay.
But it also helps that if you have been or in the recent future been involved in other things like Angie's List and all these things, and you're searching for those reviews. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for reviews today. That's what people are looking for when they're looking for a vendor for them to do any type of service. What kind of service are they already providing to people? Is it good service? Is it bad service? So in an effort to maintain that level of reviews, you have to deliver the quality. So, it kind of goes hand in hand with whatever you're doing on any of your marketing. If you don't do a good job of following up, that's a double-edged sword. You can either do very well or you can do very bad.
Come back and bite you.
That's right. So I think with Yelp, we're doing very good. I'm surprised with Yelp right now, but I think it just moving forward, it's going to be more in line of social media for us.
Yeah, I agree. I think social media is very much involved in that due diligence part of what people are, when they're searching you out, they want to see that you're active and relevant on social media, right? They can see whether customers are happy. Maybe they can see your service or your work product or educational materials, stuff like that. But they want to feel a bit connected there. I think that's a big part of it. Do you agree with that, Lee?
100%.
Yeah. Well, we also have, it helps us. I was just searching in this last week about our presence on YouTube, because we have several videos on YouTube and people will call us. I didn't know you knew how to do this type of stuff, and that might have been clients for far as 10 years or more, and yet they saw a video on YouTube of a process or how to or in most cases what not to do in the cleaning industry, and with that, along with the reviews, and like you said, you've got to be there. Your presence has to be there all the time. It has to be updated on a regular basis.
Yep. So you stay relevant.
I mean, if you've fallen behind on getting your reviews, because they have the date out there beside it, So if you haven't had a review in a number of years, then
it's
even if it's a good review.
Or if your last social post was 2022,
right?
It's like, okay. That actually makes you look stale. It can work against your business. So maybe they're not in business anymore or whatever.
Absolutely.
So I think it's important.
That's why I do 3 to 5 posts a day, and I mix it up. It's not just all business. Some of it's family, some of it's funny, and then you hit them with education. And I think it's kind of an algorithm you just have to do.
You have to do that now.
Yeah.
So are you
pets,
repurposing?
I want to see your pets.
Are you, when you're posting that many times on Facebook, are you kicking it right over to Instagram as well?
Usually all my pictures go to Instagram. Of course, some posts can't obviously go there, but my main thing's Facebook.
Main thing. All right, cool.
Well, I'm with him. I have a hard time with Instagram. I do.
You have a hard time, you said?
Yeah, with Instagram. in our Instagram, I usually try to have women do that part of it, not myself, because just like you said, it seems like Instagram works more with women than it does to men.
Not being biased here
Right,
by any
right,
means,
right.
but
Well, that's your experience, right? I
Right.
mean,
Yes.
nobody can take that away from you. I mean, that's just your experience. But yeah, so I know in the cleaning business, so one of my clients, I do some social media stuff. One of my clients is, she does cleaning as well. And a big thing for her that she's super stoked about is TikTok. And these cleaning videos that are like time lapsed, right? I mean, it's like fast forward and this is what's going on. You put some good music on it and stuff like that. So this is a whole area that we're exploring on that. Are you doing any time lapse cleaning before and afters and stuff like that?
We include those in our jobs so that our clients can see that before and after, and we have just started trying to do some of that in our videos for YouTube and our
Nice.
social media.
Yeah. Put it, and if you're going to do videos like that, you want to do them in vertical format and then put them on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and put them on your YouTube channel as shorts too.
Right.
It's easy. You know, once you're doing it one place and you've got the title and description, then you just can kick it over there. I mean, it takes work.
Right, it
You know what I
does.
mean? So but again, like low
anything
cost,
worthwhile takes
low,
work.
low cost labor from overseas is how I do it.
That's-
It's like,
yeah,
I mean,
that's
it,
the way it
it can work
works.
great
Yeah.
as opposed to paying somebody $20 an hour to do it here. Are you doing all your own social media stuff?
I do everything myself.
Yeah. Wow, it's busy.
Gotta hand it to him for that.
Yeah,
I
right.
do not.
I've got people I have a team of people that do my stuff. It's like I can't even imagine keeping up with it. But all right, so well, good chat on that. I appreciate that. All right, first up on the show is Ernest Glenn, the owner of Topaz Cleaning and Restoration, a company that focuses on a wide range of cleaning services for homes and businesses. So, Ernest, you guys Franchise of the Year award. When was that, and what's the deal
That
there?
was about 10 years ago
Okay.
when I was in a franchise.
Okay, and that's right. You've got it's your own thing now.
Yeah, we went independent about 10, 11 years ago.
Okay. Super Service Award from Angie's List for more than 10 years in a row.
Absolutely.
Is that current?
That is
Up through when?
through 2015, 16.
Okay. All right. And then 4.9 review rating on Google with 56 reviews. Did I get the numbers right on that? That's what I saw. On,
Yeah, that's what I saw, and I'm pretty sure we have more reviews than that. But
well, you
I
got
didn't
some on
have time to
Facebook,
look at-
too.
Yeah, we have them on Facebook. We on Angie's List, we just got tons of them.
Oh, yeah.
I
And
mean,
Yelp, too. See, I didn't check Yelp or Angie's List, but
Yeah, I think we got like 1,300 on Angie's List. somewhere
Oh, that's
around
all?
there. Yeah.
that's a lot, dude. That's a lot.
a few, but hey, you're gonna get a bad review, and we do have them. If I were to sit here and say, "Oh, we don't ever," I'd be sitting there lying to you. But it's when my process on a bad review is find out what went wrong. Don't ignore it; just fix it. Make your client understand. Hey, we made a mistake, admit it, and move on. And see if sometime you can get lucky enough, and they'll go back and they'll change their review if you just meet with
Yep.
them.
And then answer it, right? Answer the review.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's. I think all of us get that. I don't know. If somebody says they've got 1,200 reviews and it's 5-star, I'm like, I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Go gamble in Vegas.
Right.
I mean, buy that kind of stuff. All right, so your background's interesting. So, really, space shuttle, Star Wars missile defense system. What's the deal there?
I was back in my younger days when I worked at one time I worked for the Blue Bonnet Arsenal outside of Waco, where we made missiles and stuff for the military. And after I left there, I moved up to Colorado and went to work for. My background is a machinist, so and I guess that's part of why I get my drive from quality. I have to have it, But then when I moved to Colorado and I went to work for a company up there that we worked on the space shuttle program. We made different parts for it, and then we actually made some parts for the air defense system. The Star Wars system, where we were actually making projectiles and stuff to shoot meteors out in space.
Huh.
Yeah, that's what I said. Oh, well, if that's what we're going to do,
Well, you're going to need some quality for that, I would think, right?
Absolutely. I wasn't involved in the targeting. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I was, because I don't think I could shoot that straight.
So, how'd you end up owning a cleaning business? How do you go from Star Wars to cleaning business?
I left Colorado and I only went to work down here for a company, and then it just wasn't satisfied with the level of quality that was being produced there. And I started looking around, and a friend of mine called me, had moved to Corpus Christi, and a franchising company, offered them a franchise down there, and he called me up, asked to know if I'd be interested in doing San Antonio. Well, I said, sure, I at least want to talk to him. And so we went down that brick road, and I was with that company for almost 20 years. But in that process, it's a matter of, changing the way that you think.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I mean, because I'm no longer dealing with precision, but I am dealing with chemicals
And people.
and people. So
Managing people,
you mix all
customers.
of that together, and
Yep.
you got a ticking time bomb in some cases. But if you're going to manage it right, and you can educate your clients on why they want to use certain cleaning solutions and compared to others, or why they should be wanting to clean. COVID's a perfect example of that. I mean, that's when you really wanted to do the cleaning and sanitizing of your home. But people were scared to have anybody come into their home.
Mm.
So, we had to address that and figure out how can we get this over to our clients to where they understand the importance of getting their house sanitized again and getting us past this COVID stuff. So going from being a machinist to being what I am today, it took a number of years to get to where I am today.
Well, as a machinist, right? I mean, you're not dealing with customers,
Nope,
right?
not at all.
Were you managing people?
I was managing people, yes.
How many people were you managing?
At that time, I was managing 5.
Okay. So is like responsible for their work product and showing up and doing those kinds of things. So that's a bit of experience towards the business owner.
Exactly.
But the entrepreneurial mindset's different than an employee mindset by far.
By far.
So when you said, you 20 years you did that and you learned a lot, I'm thinking that's a big part of what you were learning.
Yeah, it's learning to, as a business owner, you have employees and you have clients. And you actually have to manage both.
And you have to make money.
And you have to make money. That is the hard part there. But, if you're hiring people to work for you that can't talk and relate to your clients, you have a problem.
Yeah.
And so, and I've always said that, I can teach I can teach you how to clean. I can't teach you people skills.
Yeah.
So when interviewing, that's what we interview for, is people with people skills. We can teach them everything else. But, one bad mistake from a technician going into someone's home just because of improper verbiage can cost you a lot.
So you spend a lot of time on training.
Yes, absolutely.
Are you the trainer?
Most of the time. But I also have an office manager, and Charnel is awesome. And so we kind of work back to back. If we have an employee that we want to do some coaching with, and they're responding to me and not so much to her, then I will run it. If they respond to her more than to me, she would run the training.
Well, systems and processes are going to be a key deal, right? And you being engineer mindset, I'm sure you probably got some pretty in-depth systems and processes in place.
Oh, yeah, we do. It's all in writing. You have to follow these rules.
So when you get an employee comes in, the trainer's following the guideline, the employee's following the guideline, and everybody's on the same page, right?
Exactly. They have to be. And that's when a question does pop up, what does it say in the manual? If you can tell me what it says in the manual, then we're on track. Now you just need to understand why that has to process that way. And it's very true when it comes down to cleaning oriental rugs, because there's such a variety of them. Some are antique, some are irreplaceable, some are interchangeable. But what they're made out of, you have to know what that is, and that could be most anything. Is that rug going to bleed? How can you stop it from bleeding? How can you do this? How can you do that? And those are things that we teach before they ever start the actual cleaning process. They have to go through, in cleaning for area rugs, that's probably a 6-month process of learning how to do it.
So as far as cleaning high-end rugs, you got some stories there? I mean, because I would imagine, right, people spend a lot of money on that kind of stuff.
I had a golfer, he moved up to Colorado on a few years ago. But he had a little 5x8 rug. It was 100% silk, beautiful, beautiful, blood red, and he would have us clean that rug every year faithfully. Just put him on the schedule, go pick it up. And one day he asked me, "So what do you want to do?" Because he had this rug in front of his bar when he was entertaining, because he was a golf pro, so he would bring his students in there and drink or whatever. Well, what are you going to do if I spill wine on this rug? I said, "You're not going to." He looked at me and said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Because you don't want to spill wine on this rug. It's silk. It's not. It has to be processed a different way, and you're going to cry when I give you the price of it."
Oh, okay.
I said, "So we have to, in understanding how to do something like that, this is where chemistry comes involved.
Yeah. Good point.
You have to know your chemistry. You have to know your pH when you're trying to clean these fine fabrics."
So what kind of a cost increase would it be if he spilt wine on a silk rug?
Well, his price on that, it was just a 5x8 rug. His price on that rug was $28,000.
Right.
For me to clean it and remove any wine of it was going to be about $5,000.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
What did you charge, like, just to clean it annually?
To clean it annually, he was running around the $800 range.
Okay, that's not bad. That's a huge markup day if you spilt something like that on it.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe stressful.
Don't do it. Yeah, don't do it.
So we're going to have to wrap up. Time goes by quick, but like, what is something that you guys do? Obviously, your training process, making sure people are skilled and knowledgeable so you don't make mistakes. But how do you guys stand out otherwise in your company?
We've always, from the beginning, it would stand out would be we want to be up there in the front. We want to be the people that our competitors look back to, and if they have a question, they call us.
You're the experts.
We want to be the experts at it, exactly. And myself, I carry about, 12 certificates, and certifications. We don't learn what we learn and know from Facebook. We go to class for it.
Right. However, you should create a post, a reel for every one of your certifications that you guys do. Create a playlist out of it so they can find it and see it. We're certified this, and then this.
That's an excellent idea. I never thought about it. There you go.
Social media is something I do once in a while.
Good reason to come and see you.
All right, Ernest, if people want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Simple, 210-653-9699.
All right, cool. And your website?
topazcleaning.com.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. It was a good chat.
Thank
Good
you.
getting to know you a little bit. All right, next up on the show is Leo Valdez, the owner of National Best Credit Solutions. Leo, welcome to the show. First-time guest.
Yes, I'm
Awesome.
excited. I like this.
So, Millionaire Club for Credit Repair Cloud. What's that about?
So, with systems, you got to have you don't have to have certain systems, but it's easier to use a system for credit repair. And one of the biggest ones is Credit Repair Cloud. And they have what's called a Millionaires Club when you make your first $1 million in sales and just being profitable. And we hit ours in 15 months from when I opened. So we're supposed to get this huge plaque, which they just tell me it's on the back market, but whatever.
Go make one yourself.
Yeah, seriously.
Just get it up on the wall.
But now there's only about, I want to say, 80 people who have actually done it in the United States for this. So I think I'm like number 82 or something like that.
Well, when does the $2 million club come?
Yeah, we're on the way.
We're on the way. Just around the corner, Mark.
Yeah.
All right. Lowest cost for San Antonio for credit repair?
So we used to charge, when I very first started, I didn't know what to charge for credit repair. Whenever I started my company, I just wanted people to get to know us, and I charged like $30 a start, $40 a month. Like, it was real cheap. And then I started, realizing how much we were worth. And so I raised my prices up to where it should have been, which was $600 to start, $150 a month, a 1 to 6 month program. And that would get you, where you need to be, home closure, 100-point guarantee or full refund. We started doing so well, obviously, right? We hit the Millionaire Club. I was like, okay, now we can kind of take a step back and we don't need to charge as much as we do. And it's just making us more competitive for everybody else because they're charging about the same, $1,200 a person for credit repair. So I went ahead and dropped all my prices to just $100 to start, $100 a month for every client, no matter what.
So is pricing that important, or is it really like, because trust factor is going to be huge in the credit repair business. And if you've got good market share and you've built up trust and you're getting lots of referrals, it's like almost seems like your price should go up, not down. But I mean, you're the one running, you're the one seeing the numbers. But I guess you found where you want to be.
Yeah. I've always said once I hit a certain number, I would drop my prices down.
Okay, cool.
And we're doing fine enough to where it's feasible for us to do.
We're doing a lot of volume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, the market's tough right now, right? When it comes to like interest rates are high.
Correct.
So does that make your business go up when it's more like it is
really
today?
doesn't have an effect on us because it's not just for people who are trying to buy a house, for instance. The only reason why somebody comes to us is 3 main reasons. One, they get denied on a house, they get denied on a car, or they're going through a divorce.
Oh.
And so it's for everybody. I mean, 1 out of 10 people, need credit repair.
Yeah. And 5 out of 10 people are going through divorce. So, I mean, that's what we hear, right? So give me somebody who's going through a divorce. Why are they coming to you?
Well, a lot of times they get payments split and the judge decrees, somebody has to take responsibility for one thing, which is true, right? Say it's a house or a car. The judge says, hey, the husband has to take care of this. The wife's not responsible for this. 100% true. She doesn't have to be responsible for it, but it's still going to be on her credit report because they were co-signers on there. The only way for it not to affect her is if he refinances or she refinances to get them off. So my job would be to try to get rid of an item like that. So like if it's a vehicle, for instance, and he just lets it go, my job would be to try to get rid of it like they never had it or she never had it.
Do you do a lot of referrals to attorneys then for stuff like that? It seems like you'd want an attorney to help get that off of there. Or
not really. No, I haven't.
How would you get him? How would it get off of their?
So there's 311 laws. There's a lot of laws that protect you from the Fair Credit Acting Report, and it protects a consumer and it protects the credit bureaus, right? And so we usually go after them legally and ethically through one of those laws saying, hey, you're in violation of this because of X, Y, and Z. I need it removed off of my report.
Well, if a husband and wife are sharing a mortgage payment, right? Mm-hmm. The husband's having to make the payment. The wife wants to get her name off of that thing. What would they do?
Well, if they're divorced, it should have been in the decree that he has to refinance. But
okay.
A lot of times it's not in the decree for it.
So what then?
So then she's technically not legally responsible for it, but credit responsible for it. So it's kind of like a little fine line, right? If he's making good payments on it, then it's not a problem. It's not a problem. It's whenever the late payments come in, the foreclosures come in, it becomes a problem.
Huh. Cool. All right. So what about on the car side? Somebody's looking to come in to get a car, they get denied. How do you help them get that car finance?
So it's so much easier to get approved for a vehicle than it is a house. So my job is to get them at least to a 620 so that way they can get approved. Somebody will approve you with a 400, but you'll have a 20% interest rate. So we want to make sure that we get them good enough to where they can have at least a 4% interest rate. And getting them approved, I have partners all over, especially here in San Antonio, to help me get somebody approved for a vehicle.
So people who've got decent credit, right? Say they're in the 700s,
Mm-hmm.
7 to 750 range. Should they still reach out? Is there benefit to them reaching out to someone like you?
Yeah, there's always something that could be on the report that they're not aware of. Even if I just take a look at it, I read this like the Matrix. I take one look at your credit report and I'm like, this is what you could do better. So we even have what's called a lifetime program. Somebody who was in our program, say they reached their 700 mark or 800 mark, wherever they need to be. We have what's called a lifetime program where they only pay us $20 a month, and every month I actually check that one myself and make sure if there's anything else that needs to be done or what else they could do to help raise their scores a little higher.
Does it impact them negatively at all when you check their credit?
No, I go through a site called Identity IQ, who I partner with, and it has no effect on their credit whatsoever.
Okay. So what are some myths that people would think about, the credit repair world that you would like to dispel?
Well, there's a lot of them, but the biggest one is that I always say is a lot of people come to me and they're like, I have too many inquiries, that's why I'm being declined. And it's just not the case 98% of the time. I think I've only seen one person who had like 500 inquiries. And I was like, yeah, you are the reason. But never, like, that was only one time I've ever seen that. It's never usually the case. The reason why somebody gets denied was for other reasons on the credit report, but when they give you a denial letter, that's the first thing that pops up, right? But so they think that's the biggest reason. Well, it's only worth 10% of your credit report, so it's just never the case.
Okay. What's another myth?
Another myth is one, like I said about the divorce. If they're responsible for it, I no longer have to pay on it. And it's like, well, no, you don't have to pay on it, but it's still going to affect you negatively. That's a big one. Late payments, people think that having late payments won't affect you as much just because your score is going to go down 4 or 5 points. It affects you for 2 years. It's on your credit report. Well, it affects you for 1, but it's on your credit report for 2. So a lender could potentially deny you just because they saw that one late payment.
So when you guys are going to do credit repair for somebody, right, there's different types of things you guys can do, or is there like a flow that you do for everybody?
No, everybody's case is different.
Yeah.
Whether they have bankruptcy, student loans, medical charges, every case is different.
Okay, so what are some of the services that you guys do for folks when you get a new client in?
Yeah, so one thing that we do for every client is before we even get them to sign up, we pull the credit report and we see exactly what's wrong. We do a free credit consultation. So that way we know, okay, this is how we can help you. Once they're already in our system, we credit coach them on what else they need to do while they're with us. So we're not just sending off letters to TransUnion, Experian, or Equifax, where it's just generic and we're like, please remove this, and hopefully it falls off after a few times. Well, what we do is we also credit coach them so that way they know, hey, I can get another credit card or a secured card for $500 or $200 and only use $40 of it a month. And we tell them when to pay it, how much to use the credit utilization, how many installment accounts to have, how many revolving accounts to have. And we basically try to get them to get the most perfect score that they possibly can within the time frame that they're with us.
All right, and when it comes to like educating folks, what are some methods that you guys are using to educate your clients or prospective clients?
Yeah, so for all my current clients, I send out emails every Tuesday on what else can be done. We do credit coaching, so we set up a time for them to come and talk to us over the phone, of course. And it's usually right after their round is out, so we educate them on what they need to do further in credit repair. And then we create videos. I create videos, or I have a team that helps me create videos, and we just share it out to the world for anyone who wants to, even people who don't need credit repair. I have people who are like in the 800s, they're like, I follow you all the time just to make sure I'm doing what I need to do right for my credit.
Well, maybe they need to make sure you're on retainer, right, and keep their credit clean.
Right.
I mean, that makes sense to me. That seems like a good fit. So the credit repair industry, I've heard that, I've never personally heard negative things, but I've talked to credit repair people because I think you're like the third or fourth one I've had on the show, and it's like they'll say that there's kind of a negative vibe out there about credit. What is some of that? What's that about?
It is the worst reputation to be in credit repair. So it's kind of hard. But I think the reason why is because people blame you for something that they can't control. So for instance, we were talking about bad reviews earlier. I get a bad review for somebody saying, you said you were going to take something off and it didn't happen. And I was like, wait a minute. We didn't say we were going to take it off. We said we were going to attempt to get it removed. And they don't get the process, that a credit repair person sends it to TransUnion, Experian, Equifax, but they are the ones who make the decision to get it removed.
Sure.
It's not us like going in there and just erasing things.
Does the client sign anything that they understand that this is the verbiage?
We have an agreement in place. Legally, it is illegal to put a client in a contract for credit repair. Right. So it's never a contract.
But like an understanding,
But
right?
we have an agreement that says, hey, look, this is what we're going to do. It's in black and white, and we don't have control over when or how things get removed. So a customer will always get mad saying, you didn't do nothing for me. And it's like, no, we did our part. We just can't push TransUnion, Experian, or Equifax to do something on their end.
So where's your passion to do this business come from? What do you love about it?
Oh, I fell in love with credit repair 5 years ago when I first got in the business. This wasn't never my background. I was always in corporate America, worked for USAA and Nationwide and Spectrum, and it just kind of fell in my lap. I worked for another credit repair company for like 1 month, and I just realized this is it. Like, one, I love sales because I can sell anything, but credit repair, like, this is something that I needed myself, and I was like, man, this is something that if I can fix this for myself and create a better life for me, then why can't I do this for others?
Yeah, a lot of satisfaction comes in. And it's a challenge every single time.
Yeah.
You get a new client, it's like, okay, it's a new hill to climb,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, that's probably my biggest thing is whenever I get a customer who's in the 300-400s and then they get up to a 700 in a quick time frame, I love it. I love it.
Success story. All right, if folks want to get in touch with you, Leo, how do they do that?
They can reach me on Facebook at National Best Credit Solutions on Facebook, or online at www.nationalbestcreditsolutions.com, or call me at 210-812-5710.
All right. Thanks, Leo. I appreciate you coming in.
Yes, sir.
All right, as we wrap up the show, a quick reminder to check out our latest podcast and catch video versions of the show anytime by visiting our website at satalkradio.com. That's going to be it for us for this one. Thanks, fellas. You all did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you on the next one.
All right.